football's done. It was done. What did you do right after that? You were done with college. You graduated. Where did you head from there, work-wise?
Yeah, so I basically decided that football was going to hang up the cleats, and then a few days later, about 3 or 5 days later, I made a call. Had a contact that was close with Gary Vee, Gary Vaynerchuk. For your listeners, I was a Gary Vee fan. Sounds like you are as well. That
Yep.
whole fall of 2018, my morning ritual was make breakfast and then watch his YouTube videos. And I became a fan probably a couple years before that. I really gravitated towards his uh, optimistic, kind of like we were talking about, optimistic undertone, but he keeps it real and it's blunt and it's not this whole life is all sunshine and rainbows. No, this life is work, but it's awesome, and we're blessed to be here and have a lot going for us. And I just love the way he talked, and I also loved his business mind as I was kind of transitioning into that world and transitioning into the content producing world. And I just got to the point where I said, hey, I want to kind of shake up my life. I want to go work for him. I was sitting in Los Angeles at the time and was like, hey, can I go out and work for you? And I was fortunate to get an opportunity to go out there and worked for minimum wage, but it was awesome. I was part of his team, ended up being a part of his team for a full year, but really just packed up my bags once again, similar to what I did a couple years before, going to Pittsburgh, and moved out to New York and just kind of made it happen.
Could you tell us anything about that whole? So I love Gary Vee, honestly. My son loves him. Is there anything that we have misconceptions upon? Everything that I see, he has so much content. And you work,
Yeah.
you work, you work closely with him.
No, Gary's awesome. And in terms of misconceptions, it's kind of it's really hard just because he has so much content out there. Like what you're seeing in the content, that's him. I mean, you can't really hide when you're getting filmed 7 hours a day. But as you know, and as I'm sure if you're a listener who's a Gary Vee fan, Gary's a polarizing guy, and a lot of people push back. I have loved ones in my own circle that push back a little bit on kind of what he's about. But I always kind of say, if you're pushing back on Gary, I don't think you're really listening to all of his content and his message. I think you're hearing just his tone and not his words, or you're only seeing certain bits and pieces here and there. But Gary, he's got a huge heart. He's as generous as anyone I've seen. He's as hard as working of anyone I've seen. I mean, if not the hardest worker. Everything he says and preaches and does, it's real. And that guy's schedule is crazy. He's as busy as anyone I've ever met. I mean, you're talking about his whole day is planned. Everything down to, hey, he has a 6 minute shower or whatever it is. I mean, the guy's a machine, the guy's a beast, but it's all coming from a place of love. And I challenge you, if you don't like Gary, give him another chance and really dive into his content, because his content, I have found in my personal life that a lot of people that do not like Gary are the exact people that need to hear Gary, because I think a lot of his content is kind of directed at people that might be living a life of bitterness or regret, or kind of shortchanging themselves, and could really use some of the messages that he preaches.
Oh, absolutely. No, he's definitely helped me personally. Well, he doesn't know that, but he's helped me personally deal with anxiety about people hating and making comments on your social media posts. There's a lot of good.
Totally.
There's a lot of good things in there. Doing things without expectations is a big one.
All
Not
right.
trying to do something
That's
just
a
to get
huge
something out
one.
of
I love
people.
that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So